Live on Twitch, live on YouTube. What's going on, everyone? This is Logical Reaction Guy. And I'm just pulling up some of the videos we'll be watching. And I'll add some there. It's 5 p.m. on my end, at least, Pacific. I'm on the West Coast, if people aren't aware. Let's check the chat. Okay, looks like it went through on both ends. Let's see. Science news today. Hope everyone's having a good afternoon. We just chilling right now. Don't see anyone's joined. That's okay. We're just going to be taking it easy. Science news. I'm just pulling up some of the news. If there's anyone in the chat, that's okay. We are just going to react to some clips and go from there. Channel. I apologize for the weird silence. Looks like this will be really quick. Got a couple of videos up. See what the Associated Press has put up today as well. Welcome to reacting to some news really quickly. And I'm probably going to disconnect my headphones. Put down these other tabs. Let's get it cracking. All right, I'm going to switch screens. Let's drag this over, and let's I know, right? Typical awkward streamer issues. Okay, we're live. Let's get into it. Got some videos for us to watch. Let's tune in. Oh, Sorry, everyone. I'm gonna. Everyone that's here, welcome. Sorry I had to reset the video. I am just going to turn on Google Chrome. Sorry, turn on my OBS, see if there's anyone in the chat. Okay, in any case, we're going to continue. We'll upload the science news later.
Looking ahead to the moon and Mars, NASA selected the latest members of the astronaut corps yesterday. Chosen from a field of 12,000 candidates, NASA selected 6 men and 4 women, half of whom are military pilots. Among others are a doctor, a physicist, and a cyclist. Joining me on the morning show, one of the candidates who was among the chosen few, a Florida native, a man who calls Central Florida home, and a graduate of the University of North Florida, right here in Jacksonville, Luke Delaney. Luke, congratulations. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Well, tell me about this. So you get the news. What's the first thing going through your mind?
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. I wonder how intense it is to, train to be an astronaut. You have to be intellectually gifted. You have to be physically prepared to take on such a challenge, even to train to become one.
Physically, still haven't fully registered yet. Going through the process this year is making it a little more real, but truly excited for the training and missions that lie ahead.
I would imagine. So tell me, you're a distinguished naval aviator, military test pilot. Now you face 2 years of training and they travel to the moon. So what's your biggest personal challenge?
I hope to just build on my experiences from military, all the different high-performance teams I've been fortunate to be a part of. Looking forward to extending those experiences out to Artemis and Moon and beyond. So,
do you think it makes sense? I think naturally it makes sense to select someone that has been in the military. They've already been physically conditioned. That actually makes sense.
Challenges lie ahead, and the group that we selected is so diverse, we're ready to take them on.
They are challenges, just to say the least. So the last man mission was Apollo 17 back in 1972. There have been budgetary, political hurdles, for scientific and technical reasons. Is it about time?
Well, what I've seen in recent history here is just an extreme ramp up of operations. I think the industry and NASA partnerships have just totally taken off. We're looking at just a litany of aircraft and missions, and everybody I think on the Space Coast and in the Florida area is really excited as well.
The plans to land on the moon have been pushed back a few years. Given hurdles in the past, the partnerships being developed, public and private, is that new timeline, or is it realistic, do you think?
I hope so. I'm really excited. These things always take a little bit of time when you're doing something that's never been done before, but you got a strong NASA team backing you up, and the new NASA astronaut candidates. I know we're going to train hard to do whatever comes our way. We got a real adaptable crew here.
Okay, I want to ask you another personal question. You and your wife, Tracy, have 2 daughters. So when they hear the news that you're becoming an astronaut, what's their reaction?
Surprisingly, really supportive. I thought they might have some reservations, but NASA's always been my dream, and they've kind of taken that dream on as well. So, really supportive family network, and I couldn't be more appreciative. Just really grateful to have them.
And so, training for this type of thing, are you ready? I don't know how you would ever train for this. You've been doing it for so long now. I mean, are there jitters at all about the concept of going maybe to the moon?
I think a little bit of nervousness is what you want, but the training from the military side, and I know the NASA training that lies ahead, is going to fully prepare us for what we're going to encounter. You're thinking from a diverse group with all kinds of perspectives, and that's going to get the mission done.
Luke Delaney, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations. We will be watching closely as we get closer. Thanks again for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
There's some interesting astronaut news.
After a series of delays, an Atlas V rocket finally got off the ground from our Space Coast, carrying satellites for the U.S. Space Force. The launch was originally set for a little after 4 o'clock this morning, but had to be pushed back an hour. News 6's Mark Lehman joins us near Jetty Park and explains why winds were a problem.
This morning's liftoff came after a series of delays. First, it was pushed back a couple of days because of a fuel leak. This morning, upper-level winds were enough of a concern for the first part of this launch window, things eventually clearing up just enough for the pre-dawn launch.
And we have liftoff.
The Atlas V rocket lighting up Complex 41 as it blasted off at 5:19 this morning. The launch not too early for those at Port Canaveral.
That, to me, is an awesome sight when you see a fireball pushing something
It's amendment. Brett Newman is from Ohio and didn't want to miss a chance to see a liftoff up close for the first time.
You could hear it as it got farther away. You could hear that as the sound finally reached us.
This mission launching 2 satellites with most of the payload sponsored by the Department of Defense Space Test Program. While much is classified, NASA says one of the satellites carries a new laser communication system that will allow 10 to 100 times more data to be sent back to Earth. Using lasers will also help with overcrowding of the radio frequency spectrum, something needed as NASA and the commercial sector have been ramping up missions to space. Today's launch coming on the heels of one last Thursday, the first stage from that SpaceX mission returning to the port this morning. And after today, things definitely aren't slowing down for commercial space flight missions here on the coast. SpaceX is gearing up for its next launch of a Falcon 9 rocket. For now, that is set for Thursday at 1 in the morning. In Brevard County, Mark Lehman, Video Results, News 6.
Damn, that's crazy. So quick too. That was fascinating. Total eclipse. Look at that blockage. I'm not gonna lie, that was dope. Passive eclipse. I've never seen an eclipse in real life. I hope I can do it at some point. Ah, yes, the Xenobots. We've talked about these. The robots.
What a xenobot is we take skin cells from a frog egg, we put those skin cells together, and under certain conditions, that group of frog cells will hold its shape, and it will start moving.
Hold on, let's dissect this real quick. We've watched
what a
videos.
xenobot is we take skin cells from a frog egg, we put those skin cells together, and under certain conditions, that group of frog cells will hold its shape, and it will start moving in fresh water in a petri dish of its own volition. It's actually only in the last few decades in the Hollywood era that we tend to think of robots as metal men or metal women. It's actually more what they do. And these xenobots, in theory, could do useful work on behalf of people, which is what makes them robots. As these xenobots move around, they happen to push these pellets into piles, which led us to the idea of what happens if you replace these pellets with more loose frog cells. And the result is what we published this week, which is that they will push these frog cells into piles. Cells under certain conditions are sticky, so the cells in the pile will adhere or stick to one another. And over about 5 days, if the pile is big enough, it will also sprout these small hairs, these small cilia, and the pile itself will start moving. And that's a quote-unquote child xenobot.
That's crazy. Okay, I understand a little bit more about it from this video. This video is actually really helpful. Like, I understand it more as it's clump of cells that, as we already examined, they are designed in a way such that they can perform a certain function, right? I think this was a combination of skin cells and muscular cells, right? So the muscular cells for contraction, the skin cells for their elasticity. And, in them being designed in certain ways, and that was the AI portion, they can perform certain tasks. But what I didn't understand was the replication. I thought that it was just cells replicating. No, it's just they move in certain ways with, cell pieces, push them together, and then those cells then become not exactly the same xenobots that perform these functions, but they are in themselves xenobots. So that part's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. It's crazy to get to this point where you are truly rewarded for making the greatest contributions to science, to humanity. So shout out to all the Nobel Prize winners this year. David Macmillan, he works at Princeton, and Ben List is in Germany. I've heard a little bit about their work. Like biocatalysis. That's dope. I'm not gonna lie, it's dope to receive awards of the highest accolade. St. Nicholas Day in Germany. Oh, that's so cute. That is adorable. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. That was Science News. We're gonna end for now. It's late, and I should actually get some rest for tomorrow. So, thanks for joining. I appreciate you guys being here. Tune in again for more science news in the near future.